What's going on, guys? Welcome to Ajax Reviews. Today we review Bloody Murder. Directed by Ralph E. Portillo. Plans for a summer filled with sun and romance turn to terror for a group of young counselors. Bloody Murder. This is going to be fun. So, this is one of those movies that I saw the first time probably in 2001. 20 fucking years ago. Jesus Christ, I'm old. This movie was brought over to my house and a friend of mine's like, hey, check this out, it's like Friday the 13th. And I'm like, well, if it's like Friday the 13th, I gotta give it a whirl, I have to try it out. So I popped that sumbitch in my VCR or whatever, and I watched it. I remember the movie being decent. I remember it being fun. I remember it being kind of a ripoff, but at that time I was really high. Yeah, so we watched it as a group, and he had already seen it, and he was like, what'd you think? I'm like, that's pretty cool, man. I like that shit. And he's like, they got a part 2. I'm like, no fucking way. So it had to have been part 2003 when I saw it for the first time. But yeah, we watched it. I watched it again with my daughter, and well, here's what I thought of it.
So anybody want to play Bloody Murder?
How do you play?
The rules are simple.
Back in the late 90s to the early 2000s, there was this huge outcry for slasher movies. Slasher movies that made us feel like we were still in the 80s. Now, a lot of movies during this time tried, a lot of them failed to deliver, while some of them were actually pretty decent. Bloody Murder, it's not one of the ones that were decent. I remembered it being decent. Boy, did I remember wrong.
Nelson's come back to even the score.
Sorry,
Ask Tommy McConnell what really happened to Nelson that night.
You're all doomed. Oh, yeah, you had to have that guy in there, didn't you? They took a lot of the main things that people loved about Friday the 13th, and they kind of put it into this movie. And then they just kind of sat back and watched as these stolen ideas died a horrible death. A death that rivaled Mrs. Voorhees. That just goes to show that anybody, any asshole can steal an idea, but that doesn't mean you're gonna have similar success. The acting in this movie was absolute trash, and the interactions between the characters came off as super fake. Another thing that this movie did is, well, the filmmakers did, is anytime in the movie when you see like a note or somebody's looking at an email and you can see the email on the screen, they have this urge to do a fucking voiceover. Every time, not once, not twice, every fucking time you see a note or you see an email or you see anything, the filmmakers provided us with a fucking overdub of somebody's voice reading the fucking thing so we knew what it said.
I miss you, Dad. Write me. Love, Julie.
Hi, sweetie. Nothing to report from this end. Glad you're having fun. Love, Dad. Hi, sweetie. I don't remember anyone named Nelson being at the camp when I was there. Henry must have me confused with someone else. Hope you're having fun. Love, Dad.
Jason took off a few days ago, and now Whitney and Brad are missing. 12-year-old Nelson Hammond taken to hospital after mysterious accident at Camp Placid Pines.
So I'm writing this note to let you know that I wrote a note because I'm doing a voiceover on this note, and if this note is appealing to you, then that note is in my voice. Sometimes you don't need to know everything. Sometimes a little bit in your imagination goes a long way. And that just kind of fucked up the movie for me because I'm like, well, I'd be curious to hear what the dad said in this situation. Oh, this is what he said. Oh, well, I'm not curious anymore. So, yeah, I mean, man, that was just terrible. The lighting in the nighttime scenes, man, it was hard to watch. A lot like Spirit Camp, you can tell they used halogen work lights. The effects in this movie were virtually non-existent. The kills were the same old cliche kills that we got in the 1980s, just done fucking terribly. Maybe they could have taken a cue from Spirit Camp and just ketchup bottled some blood on top of people. So all of that aside, there's a lot that can be said about entertainment value. So this movie can be entertaining, sitting around with your friends just trashing the shit out of it, making jokes through the whole thing, or if you've never seen it before and you're up late at night and you want to watch something super fucking cheesy that you've never seen before, this fits the bill, and it's entertaining in that way. This movie thinks it's paying tribute to Friday the 13th, but what it's really doing in reality is cloning Friday the 13th, badly I might add, becoming a dollar store version of Friday the 13th that 9 out of 10 people fucking hate. The finale of this movie is something that everybody watching it can see coming a mile away. It was so fucking obvious. It really wasn't thought out very well.
Oh, give it to her, Chase.
So, what did I like about this movie? I actually really like the hockey mask. It's not a Friday the 13th hockey mask. It's not a Friday the 13th A New Beginning box cover hockey mask. It's that other style. That other style that people are just like, whatever. But I've actually always liked that style of hockey mask. I don't find it scary or creepy. I just kind of like it. I don't know why. Not for a horror movie, but it's just kind of a cool looking mask. So what did I dislike about this movie? There's actually a lot to dislike, but I'll just start off with the harsh lighting. Obviously, they used halogen work lights. It was just really distracting. Another thing I didn't really like is just how blatant they were at ripping off Friday the 13th. Another thing I didn't really like were the characters. The characters were just boring as shit. Didn't care about any of them. Just like, kill that person. Why? Because they suck. Kill that person. Why? Because they suck. Kill that person. That's the final girl. I don't give a shit. Kill them anyway. That's how I felt about it. That and just the acting was just awful. And then I'm just going to roll this last bit together. Another thing I disliked were the kills, the effects, and the story. All of them were uninteresting, lazy, lackluster shit. Fucking just come up with words, and that's what it was. So in conclusion, would I recommend this movie? As funny as it sounds, yes. This movie's purpose was nostalgia. It was to make us appreciate the 1980 slasher films that it was imitating. But what this movie actually did, right, was made me appreciate horror movies that were bad that took me back to a specific time. It took me back 20 years ago when I was searching for horror movies to watch, way before the internet was a big thing and you could just download movies. You had to go to old video stores or yard sales and find VHS tapes of these terrible fucking movies that nobody's ever seen, that you've never heard of. It takes me back to that time. And so for that reason alone, I recommend this movie. And with that being said, guys, I give this movie a 2 out of 5. And that is going to do it for me for today. So until next time, remember, stay smart, stay clean, keep the dream, don't let the man get you down, because if he does, Trevor Morehouse may jump out from behind a tree, make you scream bloody murder, and then penetrate you from behind with a lawn dart, only so you can overact a dramatic death scene that nobody cares about. For real. That's what happened.